Yo, what's going on, dudes? HK Titan here with a brand new video for you guys, and in today's video, guys, it's finally here, the 39.0 update that adds something to Bloons TD6 that I have been wanting for a very long time, and that is the BTD6 Map Editor. Now, we not only have the BTD6 Map Editor, but we also have a new skin for Etienne, the Bookworm skin. And guys, I think we can all agree that this is now the cutest skin in Bloons TD6. And I know, a bunch of you guys have been wanting a skin for Jerry, but I mean, come on, Jerry, like, you just look fantastic with your mustache, so you just do you. Like, would you guys rather have a skin for Jerry, or would you guys rather have this skin? I would rather have this skin, because the Bookworm skin looks absolutely fantastic, and it looks even better in game. But I know the new skin for Etienne, the new Dark Path map, they're both fantastic, but the main thing that I want to check out today is the new BTD6 Map Editor. So right away, we have a blank canvas to work with here. We also have a bunch of different terrains that we can choose from. We have 2 different water maps, and we have 5 different plane paths that we can choose from. So the first thing we need to choose, we need to actually choose a map that we want to work with here. And I actually want to work with a water map here, because in Bloons TD6, there's not a lot of water maps that we can actually choose from. So the next thing I want to do, we have a couple of effects that we can work with. Ooh, what if we make like a monsoon storm type of map? There's just so much to choose from. So let's go ahead and add this. I think it kind of adds like a cloud effect in the background, so it looks like there's like clouds floating overhead. So now that we have the basic background in the back, we chose an effect. Let's go ahead and choose what we want to have in the middle of our map. So what if we make like a lost island? So what if we do like an island that kind of has like a horseshoe shape? So we'll do like this, we'll do this, we will come up here. Obviously it's not going to look like this, but I just want to get like the basics out. So what if we make an island, it's shaped like so, but let's see. I'm kind of getting some inspiration here. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna do like a horseshoe shape, so the balloons will enter from the bottom here. They'll circle around the inside, and then I'm also have a second path on the outside that comes from over here. It circles around the very outside of the map and then exits down here. I think that would be a really cool map idea. But the first thing we need to do, we actually need to make it so we have an island that we can place towers on. So one thing with the BT6 map editor that I would like to see, I would really like to see like a copy and paste function. That way, like if we have an object that we really like and we want to add more of them to the map, we can actually add more of them by just copy and pasting them. So I think that's going to do it for the base of the map. Now, the next thing I want to do, I want to add a little bit of grasslands, because I want to make this like an island. So we'll add some grass here to add a little bit more of an effect. And I think that's pretty good for like an island effect. So now that we have the basics of the island, the next thing I want to do is I want to make it so the balloons will travel next to the shoreline and then exit down here. And then I also want to make a secondary path that they'll take on the outside of the track. And I think that'll add a little bit of a challenging aspect to the actual map itself, because I don't want the map to be too easy. So there's our first path. And now, like I was saying, I want there to be a second path, and I want this second path to be a really long path that goes all the way around the island. And I think I can make that happen by using these sliders here like this, and then do this, and then we just need to make it so that the pathway follows the very outside of the island. All right, so there we have it. We have the path that goes around the outside of the map. We have the path that goes on the inside of the map. The last thing we need to do is we need to add a little bit of customization options to this map to make it feel a little bit more alive. All right, so to make our island come alive a little bit more, I added a couple of stamps around the island to like add a couple of flowers, add a couple of rocks. Now, these stamps aren't going to interfere with tower placement. They're just there to add a little bit of detail. So now that we have the basic detail down, the next thing I want to do is I want to grab a big rock, and I want to put a big rock right here in the center of the map to kind of like make it so it's not too easy, as well as I kind of want to serve as like a mountain kind of, because I think it would be really cool if it was like an island that had like a giant mountain on top of it. So for the mountain, that's nowhere near big enough. I want a bigger rock. That's a big rock. There we go. So this is gonna be like the big mountain on the center of the island, and then we'll go ahead and add a couple of rocks around the outside to add a little bit more detail. So this is gonna be our mountain that's in the center of the island. Now we want to add a couple of trees around the beach here to go ahead and give it a little bit more life. All right, so we added a couple of groups of trees that are going to act as obstacles for like placing down towers, as well as sight lines. So now that we have these 3 towers here, let's add a little bit more effects with some grass. Then the last thing we need to do, we need to add a little bit of effects to the water, and we can add those effects by grabbing some fish, and we can have like sharks that are swimming around the island. And then right now it does look a little bit plain, but we can fix that by grabbing some of these shadow options here. We could throw a shadow underneath the pine trees to make it look like the sun is shining above the pine trees. And then we can also add some shadow effects behind the mountain to make it seem like the mountain is kind of like casting a shadow behind all of the rocks, and just kind of add enough detail to like make the map really come alive. And then the last thing for us to do is just to add a couple more effects to add a little bit more detail to the map. But I think that should about do it for like the Lost Island. We have the 2 paths that go through the map. We also added enough of like obstacles here to kind of interfere to make the map not super easy. It shouldn't be super hard, but at the same time I want to make it so it wasn't super easy as well. And then the last thing I want to add as like a little bit of a signature for my map is I want to add like a little rat, and I want to put this rat like behind the island just so you guys can like barely see it. There we go. All right, so now that we have our map completed, the last thing for us to do is to come up with a name for this island as well as to beat the island so we can publish it. So it's working exactly the way that I planned. So we have the two maps that start over here. The balloons will come from this path, they'll exit over here, and then they'll come over here and they'll go around the entire map and they'll exit way over here. This is exactly what I wanted. So we'll place our Etienne here, and then let's go ahead, we'll grab ourselves our free dart monkey, and then we want the free dart monkey on the side that's shorter, so we'll place a free dart monkey here. Oh man, hopefully I can place a tower up here, because I really want to be able to place a tower on top of this mountain. But if you can't, it's not gonna be the end of the world. It'll just make the map that much harder. Dude, this is amazing. We can actually place like a sniper on top of this map. So it's still a little bit buggy, like we can't place the dart monkey everywhere I intended, but it should still end up working out for us. So we should be able to place a sniper on top of this mountain, and then the sniper can snipe the balloons as they're like going through the track. Man, this is working out way better than I thought it would. And to be honest, I thought this side would be the harder side, but this side is actually the easier side. Probably because our Etienne is focusing on this side of the track. Oh my goodness. Dude, I think I made a really hard map. Of course they're gonna focus on this side, because from their perspective, they're already further along the track on this side. Oh, dude, I made this map super hard. Oh, dude. Okay. I really like this now. So of course our Etienne isn't gonna focus on popping these balloons, because the priority for our towers is gonna be targeting these balloons over here. Ooh, this might actually be a really big challenge if we were to play this on Chimps, but I like it. I really like it. So guys, I think Ninja Kiwi did an amazing job with the BTD6 Map Editor. It's gonna add so much more content to the game. That way we have even more things to do in the game, other than like playing the normal game modes, playing the boss events. Now we can actually go through, create our own maps, and challenge our friends, as well as you guys can challenge me. But overall, as a initial drop for the BT6 Map Editor, I think they did an absolutely fantastic job. As far as like all the wonky bugs and stuff like that, I'm sure Ninja Kiwi will end up fixing that with future updates and patches. So guys, like I was saying, I think this adds a completely new aspect to Bloons TD6, because not only is it going to give us the option to make new maps that we can challenge our friends to beating, but you guys can also create maps that you guys would like to see me beat. So if you guys create a map like my HUK's Lost Island, you guys can leave a comment on this video, and I will give the new maps a try, and you guys can tell me like what game mode you guys would like me to play on. You guys can get me to play on Chimps. I don't know if I would be able to play on Chimps, but that's definitely something that I think would be really fun to try. But anyways, dudes, that's gonna do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys hit that like button, and I'll see you dudes in the next one.